What's going on, everyone? Strange here, and welcome to my first ever Destiny build video. No face cam because I want this one to really hit. This video, I'm going to try to showcase a little Prismatic Titan ad clear build. This build is strictly for ad clear. Don't try to do DPS with it or uh, use your abilities to like damage the boss. This is mainly just for clearing ads. So if any like raid encounters that really are just ad clear or any dungeon strikes, all of that stuff, this is strictly ad clear, and it's kind of meant to synergize a little bit. So you can kind of see it in the gameplay just a little bit, but I'll go ahead and show you the build right here. There's two options you can run in the primary slot. I am running Monte Carlo right now because it's really good at getting my melees as much as possible. You could also run Traveler's Chosen, but I decided to run Monte Carlo for this. Just purely for the fact that it gives me so, like, I know it's kind of like a little bit RNG, but having the chance to get your melee recharged instantly back is kind of insane. There was one time where I used up all my melees. I killed 4 acolytes and got all 3 charges back instantly. It's really good for this the type of build that this is. The second slot, you can kind of throw whatever special weapon you have. I threw on Indebted Kindness for one of 2 reasons. Rocket assisted frames are incredibly strong right now. You can even chunk away at higher health enemies, even without a damage perk on it. I also do have Volt Shot on it, so it also helps with the ad clear. Another thing you could do is run, an incandescent weapon with the call as your primary. So there's a lot of variations you can do. The main thing for this build is going to come down to my exotic class item and the prismatic aspects, fragments, all that kind of stuff. So for the heavy, literally run whatever. I'm running a pro Memoria. I just crafted it. I want to been trying it out. Reconstruction's a really strong perk right now, but you can throw in a good rocket launcher. You could throw in a good linear fusion rifle, a sword if you're trying to, have eager transit or eager edge. You could literally throw whatever you want in here. Something to help you with your damage because you are going to be low on damage if you need to. If there are some, some yellow bar enemies, some mini bosses, this is where most of your damage is going to come from. For Prismatic, I'm going to show you this, and I'll go ahead and show it from the other POV. This is what I'm currently running. I'm running with Consecration and Knockout. These 2 are kind of essential for this build because this is really strong for clearing ads, and this is going to help you get your health back because that's where Prismatic Titan really struggles right now, is with its regeneration and with its survivability. So this right here is going to be essential. For fragments, I'm running Facet of Dawn just for the ability to make me radiant. I know it takes away my strength, but I kind of mitigated that. As you see, I have double 100s. They're not double 100s right now, but I got a Masterwork 2 pieces of armor, so it's double 100s. But yeah, makes me radiant and makes my allies radiant, so your gun's going to be doing a little bit more damage when you do your melees, and you're going to be meleeing a lot. Next up, running Facet of Protection, just for the damage resistance. Again, survivability is the most important thing on Prismatic Titan because we don't have Healing Nade, we don't have a lot of options that the other classes do with Prismatic, so this is the most important part, and we get that plus 10 strength, so we kind of offset these 2 here. I'm running Facet of Courage, Facet of Courage, just because, the increased discipline mainly for it. I didn't want it to have super low, so I'm sitting at 40, so it's not horrible, but you could probably change this out with whatever you think you need. There's a couple of fragments I don't have unlocked yet that might work with this a little better, but right now, I'm running Facet of Courage. Next up, we have Facet of Blessing, which is another healing thing. Melee final blows. You're going to be doing that almost all the time with this build. So you kind of have to run Facet of Blessing with this build. Finally, we have Facet of Ruin. Just because you're going to have Consecration, so you want this for your solar ignitions. It's going to be nuts. You're going to get this to proc like all the time, especially with Unstoppable. So if you don't end up running the sidearm, you still have an unstop on you. So that's really good. For the melee, I'm running Frenzied Blade just because you have 3 uses of it, which is, again, where the synergy lies. And for grenade, you can run whatever you want. I'm running shackle just for the miners that I don't, if I don't have my melee up or something, I throw it, they're stunned, and I can either use my indebted kindness. There's so many options I can do to just help deal with it, and it's also an unstop. So another thing you can use if you don't have a sidearm equipped at the moment. Super, again, could honestly be whatever you want. I run Twilight Arsenal. It has kind of really nice burst damage, and it also weakens them, so it allows me to do a bit more damage when I come out of it. So yeah, you could use it. You could literally use whatever you want. It's also new because I kind of want to throw it in just to play with it. So we're going to go ahead and look at the rest of the stuff we have on. For the helmet, for all my gear, I'm running completely melee focused stuff just to build up with the synergy and all that. I am running heavy ammo finder on the helmet because I do have lead from gold on my indebted kindness, so I don't really need to focus on special bricks because I'm going to get ammo from the heavy bricks, so I'm not really worried about that. Running strength mods, hands-on, powerful friends. For the boots, I am running arc weapon surge for indebted kindness. I also have invigoration on, orbs of restoration with the resilience mod for my gloves. I have the strength mod, focus and strike, momentum transfer, and I kind of throw in fastball on every build I do just because it feels really bad if you don't have fastball on. For my stoicism, I did get a roll with Spirit of Severance and Spirit of Contact, so I'm not down to join that right now. That's unfortunate timing for this. So the point of this build actually does really rely on this. So if there's like a giant group of enemies, like let's say with the new not seasonal but episodal activity, there are quite a lot of mobs that spawn, quite a lot of adds. So you go ahead, you melee one, or you hit one with your frenzy blade, or you hit one with consecration. Not only are they gonna get jolted or get electrocuted by Spirit of Contact, but you're also going to create a giant explosion from Severance. Not to mention, with the Consecration explosion, there's going to be a lot of explosions. There's going to be a lot of adds, and in some of the clips you will see, it is just a giant AoE explosion, really. And then there's also some instances where they'll start getting jolted between each other. So these two together is so much fun, and I'm loving this kind of synergy that's going on with this. And then for the chest piece, I do have melee damage resistance just because I'm going to be up close and personal with a lot of adds. A lot of them are gonna punch back, extra resistance. I have arc resistance and harmonic resistance. I've been playing the episodal activity, so it's a lot of Vex, so just a little bit added resistance for my survivability. Here are the weapons again, as I explained earlier. But yeah, I'll go into the clips and just kind of, talk about the build more. So let's get into the clips. To all the people that made it this far into the video and are still watching, I appreciate you guys. Sorry, this is my first time doing a Destiny build video, so still trying to figure out the best ways to go about it. But yeah, so I mean, with this build, I kind of wanted to try to do something a little bit, not super meta. Not the ones that you can literally just go on YouTube and find godlike, Titan ad clear builds, or like I wanted to try something different than what you're normally gonna see, just to give people more variety, give myself more variety. That's kind of why I threw Monte Carlo into it. I know I could have just done Sunshot, the Call. They're really really basic ad clear builds right now. So I'm not even gonna label this as like a god tier build. I'm just gonna simply label it as like a little simple ad clear build. Nothing kind of super crazy. Obviously, you do need to get the stoicism roll to drop, but that's the fun part. But yeah, I mean, this build is a lot of fun to play with. I'm gonna be running it into some raids with on encounters that like only require ad clear. So first encounter of Salvation's Edge, besides when the Tormentor spawns. But that's kind of what the LMG is for. I kind of used LMG specifically in this because one of the bosses is a Tormentor. But yeah, the encounters like that, most of Ron, a couple encounters of Vow, like the relic encounter. So I definitely going to try it in there, as well as maybe some dungeons here when I get the chance to run them this upcoming week. But I mean, when running this build in the new activity or in strikes or just going around the Pale Heart, it's not a great way to determine if the build is great or not, but it gets the job done against a lot of ads. So I would assume that this build is going to be a lot of fun to use at encounters that are just ad clear. Um, I know what I said at the build part of the video that like, hey, don't use this against bosses, and then I do it a couple times in the clips of this video. But I just kind of wanted to try it out and just get some variety in the clips because it's all going to be kind of the same because that's the point of this build is to do a job, and it does the job really well. I mean, every time I finish an activity, whether it was a strike, a dungeon, or the new activity, I was always leading the kills amount, which is the entire point of this build is to clear ads. You can see right there, even the frenzied blade does the big AoE explosion. So you don't need to run consecration. If you want to switch that up, you can. I would just run consecration because you are literally clearing everything possible. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of fun. But I mean, I don't really have much else to say about the build from there. I mean, if you're looking for variety, if you're looking for something that's not going to be what everyone else is running, I would definitely give this thing a shot. Obviously, if you don't have Indebted Kindness with the roll, or just don't have it at all, switch things up, run an incandescent energy weapon, and then run like Traveler's Chosen. Kind of mix things up. I obviously, like I said, I picked Monte Carlo. It was fun. I actually never used it. One of the clips, you could see me going and checking the catalyst. That I'm almost done with it. Since I've started using it, I've realized that this gun it's definitely fun. It's I haven't really played PvE that super like hardcore. I've always been a PvP guy, so I'm pretty excited to get into more PvE themes and start making some more PvE builds. You'll definitely be seeing some more PvP builds from me as well, especially with stoicism and all these new exotics. I'm really getting into more build crafting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it this far into the video, I seriously appreciate y'all. Any tips you have on Destiny build videos, I am very open to it all. I want to make the best content I can. I want to emulate the success that my Division content usually does. And because these two games have been my life, these two games have been like I've invested so much time into these, and so when I see my Divisions videos pop out, it makes me feel really vindicated and validated. Vindicated is definitely not the word. Validated and making these videos. So I'm hoping to kind of replicate that with Destiny because I've actually have like 5 times the amount of hours that I have on Division on this game. So hoping this kind of works out. So I appreciate every single one of you that are coming out to these videos that I'm going to be putting out. Obviously, these build videos are going to take a little longer because it's not as easy to grind specific gear like in Division, how you can just focus. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of these clips. There's not much left. Peace.